What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. In today's video, I'm gonna be installing a new horn on my car. So if you guys saw in a video that I put out for you guys a while ago, I installed hella horns on the front of my Accord. They were awesome. It was a nice upgrade over the stock stuff, but this isn't exactly as loud as I would like it to be. Now, the hella horns were an upgrade, but this here should be an unbelievably large upgrade over those. So this here is a very inexpensive, under $30 horn. This is an air horn, comes with a compressor, comes with a trumpet. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to do the entire install on your car. So if you guys purchase this exact same kit, what you're going to find inside the box is what you see right here on the table, except for these tools. So if you guys purchase the kit, it's going to come with the trumpet. It comes with the front piece here. You have the air inlet connector on the actual trumpet part. You have the trumpet, the blast area. You have a little mount. Comes included with a little kit like this, a little hose that will connect from the air pump to the trumpet. You have all the necessary mounting hardware along with gaskets. So this one here will be for that one. This two-piece one will be on this side. And then you have all the necessary hardware for the install. This all should take you probably less than 20 minutes to do the entire install. Let's get started. So with the bumper removed from your car, you'll be able to get access to the horns. So on the front of my vehicle, you can see that I have two hella sharp tone horns on the front of the car. So there's going to be the mounting bracket found up top. There's going to be the ground cable that's going to be connected to the chassis, and there's going to be a power cable that's going to the horn. So in a situation like this where you have two horns, you're going to need to remove all of these connectors and put the positives and negatives together, because our new kit only has one positive and one ground. So we're going to want to put all of that power and all of that negative to the same area. So on the bottom side of the air compressor, you'll be able to see that there's a little positive found on the left and the negative that's found on the right. So we need to connect the electrical harness up to these two components right here. The wires that we have over here are going to be supplying the little pump that we have with power. So we need to do two things first before we wire anything. We need to find out where we're gonna be putting this guy here along with the actual horn. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna be mounting this right here behind the front bumper bar, facing sideways. You don't want it facing forward, especially if you're working or living in a northern climate where you're gonna see salt and weather. So I'm gonna be putting it sideways like this, or maybe even like this here. Actually, this makes more sense because I wanna place the little pump right here up by the front rad support. So with this kind of mocked up, I can have an idea as to how much wire I'm going to need to get all of this to work. So this right here is where the stock location for the horn is. This is where we mounted it. This is the ground for it. Now, we're not going to be putting it in this location. We're gonna be moving it into this hole here. So this is an OEM hole or whatever that was basically found on the car. Now, I did not have to drill this. You might in your car, depending on if your car has a hole like this, but in the kit, you're gonna have a bolt, and you're gonna have all the necessary hardware so that you can mount this up to here. So I'm just gonna have it like that, and I'm gonna have access to the two little connectors that are found on the bottom side. So to mount the electric compressor, the way that I found this easiest to mount this is to put the bolt through the car like this, so the head is on the front side. You're gonna install the washer and nut on the back side of it, thread it in, and you're gonna essentially wanna tighten this up a little bit so that you have enough room to slide the little compressor over top of the bolt, and then with it on, you should be able to tighten it up with a 12mm wrench on the backside. With the bolt secured on the backside, this shouldn't want to go anywhere. So we're gonna have access to the two electrical connectors on the bottom for power and ground, and we have this little pickup here that's going to be leading to the air horn. So to get power from our harness to our little air pump, what we need to do is get two cables here because we have two positives. We need to go from 2 to 1. So I made right here a little connector, a little wiring harness. It's got two little connectors here that will plug right into the OEM harness, follows it down, and then it goes into one single connector. And this connector here will bolt up to the bottom side of the little compressor. So with that out of the way, we need to worry about the ground. So I have this right here. This will plug into the bottom, and this needed to be extended a little bit. So this will bolt up right up to the old ground that we had on the chassis. So this here is so far a direct bolt-on. Now these wires are not included, but this is very straightforward stuff. All I did was snip, crimp, well I made sure that the length is right, and then all this is gonna be a direct bolt-on. I'm gonna be using the old ground, and I'm gonna be using these cables right here to get all of this to work. So with the air compressor now hooked up, it's now just a matter of finding a place where we're gonna be installing the horn. So I'm hoping to install it right about here. Now I'm just gonna be centering it to make sure that it's properly aligning here. I wanna make sure that there's enough space in between the little outlet from the air compressor and the pickup from the air horn. So once I have this lined up, I'm gonna be using a little center punch, push it inside each of the holes. It's gonna show me a mark as to where on the front crash bar I'm gonna have to drill into here. I'm gonna drill, and then I should be able to put the bolts in there really easily, just like how we did with the air compressor. So I'm using my DeWalt drill with a 1/4 inch carbide drilling bit to drill into this metal here. So once you have the holes drilled out, install everything so you have a soft install. Don't tighten up any of the bolts. Make sure that the fitment and everything is good. Once you have it kind of in place and how you have it lined up how you'd like, then go ahead and tighten everything up. Under each one of these legs is a rubber piece that ensures that you're not gonna get any vibration or movement after each of these bolts are tightened up. So there's gonna be 1 bolt up front and 2 of them found in the rear. For a quick tip, if you guys are doing this, if your drill has 2 settings for speed, you can see that it's on setting number 2, and this is very fast. Now you don't want it on that setting. You want low speed, high torque when you're using this stuff. Otherwise, you're gonna be damaging the bit and you have the potential to break it. With this drill and bit, I was able to drill through this in a matter of like 10 seconds per hole. Using a 10 mil, tighten up each one of these nuts until each of the legs are secured in place. With it now secured into place, the last part that we need to do is hook up the little air compressor up to this little end right here. So this little nipple here is what receives the compressed air. So what we need to do is push this little tube onto the nipple, and on the other side of the line, we just need to hook it up to here. Once that's done, we can turn the car on, press the horn, and see if all of this works. Yo, that's mint. Okay, I dig it. So at this point then, the only thing that I need to do is put everything that I removed from the car back on it. So the whole front end, whole bumper, all that stuff needs to go back on. But that's pretty straightforward. It does vary from car to car. It usually is just a matter of removing some clips. So on my car, there was about 13 up top that I need to remove. There was 1 screw on each side of the bumper, and then after that, I was able to pull the whole front end off after I disconnected the wires that are going to my fog lights. Other than that, install is pretty straightforward. Now I'm gonna get the car, put it on the ground, get it drivable, put the bumper on, and see the fitment. So I did check this out before, but I wanna show you now that this is done, what it looks like with the bumper on. So this is here with the aftermarket horn now installed on the front of the car. So you can kind of see it through the grill, but you really have to look for it. Now, one thing that I kind of do want to change is I want to go inside of here and I want to change the color of the wire. So you can still see that it's kind of yellow and you can see that through the grill. So I want to change that. Maybe I'll just put like electrical tape over top of it just to make it black and make it a little bit more stealthy. But I mean, other than that, it looks good. The horn works awesome. And let me just show you what it sounds like from the outside. Okay, so we've got the horns on the car. This is a week later. I've already noticed a massive difference whenever you press the horn. Check this out. Oh, that's sick. I gotta say, this is way louder than the hella horns that I had on the car. Louder than the hella sharp tones, louder than the hella super tones, and way louder versus the stock horns that came on the car. For 30 bucks, yeah, I'd definitely buy this again. Now, if you guys want something even louder than this, you can obviously spend like 500 bucks plus for a proper air compressor kit, 4 horns, and a whole bunch of other stuff, but that's kind of over the top. If you want something that's very loud without breaking the bank, this kit is a no-brainer. Like, for 30 bucks, you can't go wrong with it. In addition to this, if you wanted to, you could probably install another one on the car to make it even louder. So for 60 bucks, you could have 2 trumpets, 2 compressors, 2 power sources, and you'd have an awesomely loud horn. I love this. If you guys want to take a look at the horn that I purchased, or even the old one, you guys can find links in the description box. The install was quite easy. Honestly, the most difficult part of this is removing the bumper. Once you have that off, it's very straightforward. You have to remove the power, remove the ground, make sure the horn is in, make sure it doesn't hit anything, and then you're good to go. If you guys want something loud without breaking the bank, and let's say you have to be conservative on space, this is an awesome upgrade. Now, I unfortunately cannot put this inside the Mini because this is a little bit bulkier than the OEM unit. So, if you guys have a little bit more space inside your engine bay and you want a little bit more noise, this is an awesome upgrade, especially because it's dirt cheap. If you guys have any further questions, comment section's down there, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.